Okay, before going any further in our programming journey, I would like to start with the fundamentals of programming. So, what I'll do, I'll create another folder here where I'll name that lesson 01 and enter. So, this is our folder, and I will drag and drop this main.py to that lesson 01 folder so that we have the track of our progress. Okay. Now this is good. Now I'll create another folder which will be lesson 02, and I will highly encourage you to do so. I know everything can be done in one single file, but this folder structure will help us a lot in the long run. So in the lesson 02, I'll right click and create another file, a new file, which I'll call main.py once again. So in this video, we will be discussing about the fundamentals of programming. And to keep that in mind, this is not necessarily related to Python. These fundamentals can be applicable for any programming language. So what we need to do, or what we need to learn. So I'll create a multi-line comment by using triple double quotes. So 1, 2, 3, and VS Code auto completes the quotes, which is nice. So first of all, what we need to learn? We need to learn about the terms of the programming language. So what do I mean by that? Like, what are statements? What are variables? Like some sort of class instantiation and so on. So these are the terms which we need to know. Okay, so these terms will help us understand the syntax of the programming language and will help us to write better code. So I'll do etc, something like that. Then we need to learn about the data types. So b and then data types. So what data types are in a programming language? Data types are the types of data which a programming language has. So the types of data that a programming language has. So there are several data types in Python, and we can create our own types as well, which we'll do in the later section of the series. Okay, so then what we need to learn? We need to learn about the actions. So basically, whenever you are writing some code, what happens is you are most of the time manipulating the data. You are storing the data, you are getting the data and performing some actions depending on the data. Suppose you want to do some addition, so you do 2 plus 2 or 3 plus 3 or so on. So you can store the data in a data type as well. You can get some data from the database through an API call, which we'll do as well. So this sort of things we want to know about the actions which we can perform. Suppose in like for example in JavaScript we can do many of the things for in the client side, like to build the web pages and so on and so forth. In Python we cannot do that, but we can do other things as well. So this sort of things we have to know about the programming language, what actions it can perform and what results we can get from that. So like store data, then get data, and then perform some actions. Okay, then we need to know about the best practices. D. So we need to know about the good and the bad ways of writing code. We have to know about the decision making. We have to know about the actions and why we are doing something in a certain way and not in other ways around. So basically, we have to know about the fundamentals, and by knowing the fundamentals, we have a solid foundation to write a proper production ready code. So, yes, basically, these are the things which I wanted to talk about here, like good and bad ways of writing code and so on. So, these are the fundamental things which I wanted to talk about. And in the next video, we will start by learning about the data types in Python.